talked about this yesterday. One of the things that I mentioned was we weren't privy to the conversations when he was first suspended. We didn't know if they had discussed, another infraction, what the penalty would be. And it seems pretty clear from that conversation between Adam and Malika that actually wasn't discussed. It wasn't discussed if there was another incident. And I'll say this again, in both these gun-waving incidents on IG Live, there has been no law that's been broken, as far as we know. Colorado police investigated, no law was broken. Assuming this is in Tennessee, open carry allowed in that state, assuming he has a permit, for whatever it may be, no law has been broken. The reason I bring that up.
Again, that is absolutely not the question. He is employed by the NBA. This isn't this. He doesn't work for the district attorney, or this isn't the DA talking about bringing up charges against Ja Morant. That's not what's happening. So I am not exactly sure why he's bringing it up. He's already said that he doesn't excuse it, and I think maybe he says it again that he doesn't excuse it, and he thinks it's idiotic. The action, that he thinks it's idiotic. But why are you bringing up legality? That's not the question. That was never the question. So you're being idiotic by bringing that up. Never was a question for Ja Morant. Never.
It is very clear in our CBA what happens if you fail a drug test for performance-enhancing drugs or a street drug.
Is that against the law? Is performance-enhancing drugs against the law? HGH, is that against the law? You think that would be a good argument against the NBA if somebody's going to get suspended? Well, what law did I break? Show me the law. I didn't break a law. Of course not. That's silly.
Drug, a narcotic. It's very clear. It's this amount of games.
Even a narcotic. Weed has been a heavy topic of conversation because it is now legal, but not in the NBA. You're undoing your own point.
If you get a certain amount of technicals or a certain amount of flagrants, how much you're going to be suspended.
Idiotic, dude.
And so that's where I think a 40-game suspension, the precedence for that, for not breaking a law. Again, we can go into the backstory of the incident with the teenager. Ja's claiming self-defense, that the teenager threw the ball in his face. We can go into the incident at the mall when he yelled at his security guard. We can go into the incident with the Indiana Pacers traveling party. As far as we know, all of these things have been investigated and no law has been broken. I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm not saying there should be no punishment. There should be consequences. You are the face of the league. You are representing the NBA. You are a role model to young kids. All of that.
And yet you're bringing up legality. And yet all of those things that the NBA, a private entity, can absolutely say, we don't want to associate with somebody. We decide what the punishment is for somebody within our organization based off of our rules and our, whatever else they might want to say.
I don't think half a season is the right answer.
I don't know that half the season or whatever the case might be. They'll have to do the investigation. They'll investigate and they'll find out. They'll be talking to people, obviously. They have ways of getting information. And we'll see what they say when it comes out. But again, this isn't the DA saying that they're going to bring up charges against him. This is the NBA, not the DA's office.
And the last point I want to make, because you bring this up, the guns on social media. We talk about consequences. Look, in our country right now, gun culture is pervasive. It's pervasive. We've got mass shooting after mass shooting.
Again, to bring that up not only hurts your argument, because it's like that's why they wouldn't want to associate and be connected to that, right? Not only that, but then at the same time, it's like that's what makes it worse. Like, that's why they don't want to. That's why they would bring down the hammer, because they don't want to be associated with that.
And nobody's doing a damn thing about it. So I get why.
You think the NBA goes around and punishes people that are private citizens? It just doesn't happen. It really just doesn't.
We're so sensitive to this right now. But there's no consequence for Greg Abbott telling his constituents that they should go buy more guns, and then we have mass shooting after mass shooting in Texas. There's no...
Greg Abbott is elected by the people of Texas. If they want to recall him or do whatever else they want, they can do that. Or, if he commits a crime, then the police entities will go after him. The NBA wouldn't step in and do anything about that.
Consequence for an elected Tennessee official to send out a Christmas card holding AR-15s with his young family, and then there's a shooting and
again, not a crime, and at the same time, they're not employed by the NBA.
This very district. There's no consequences to that. So why are we trying to lay down the hammer on a 23-year-old who didn't break a law? Explain that to me.
Because this isn't a question of legality. In no way, shape, or form is this a question of legality. Never has been. Never will be. I have no idea why he's bringing that up. Again, he did say that he wasn't trying to make it an excuse for Ja Morant, and he did say that it was idiotic. However, this isn't the DA bringing up charges. This isn't a legality question. There's lots of things in sport that you can't do that you'll get punished for that aren't a legal matter. That's just not how it goes. That's not how it works. I don't know why he's bringing that up. Again, it's just he undermines his whole point. And I don't know. I mean, I think that kind of does give room to Ja Morant to try to make an excuse for that behavior. Because he's going to say, well, why should the NBA punish me? That I didn't break a crime, I didn't break a law, whatever the case might be. He's dead wrong. And JJ right here is dead wrong. And I don't know. I mean, again, I know he said that he wasn't trying to, but he's definitely making an excuse for Ja Morant.